Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And on the menu today, with the Lions moved to 97, won the ticket, and all the ramifications, all kinds of good stuff, some inside information there that we're going to give to you. Then the Lions get killed by the Titans. The season's officially over. Draft previews to start soon. Just kidding. And we got your comment cards, the question of the day, the dessert with Curt, but all that coming up in a bit. But first, my partner in crime, the man of steel, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Hey, welcome to the program, people. You know what it is. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news. Join the family, subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Share the videos, comment, all of those things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Let's get this thing started right now. All right, welcome back to the show, people. It is time for some Detroit Lions news. Jim, what you got?
The Detroit Lions officially eliminated from postseason contention with this Week 15 loss. As I said earlier, it is time to start the draft process again.
Yeah. You know that, and that cements the losing season for the Lions. Actually having their 9th loss of the season. So, I mean, can't go 500 now. So, it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Lions shoot down the theory that Kenny Golladay is purposely sitting out. He is not. This is coming from ProwdOfDetroit.com. I really thought he was hurt myself. I really think he was trying to get back on the field, and I really think he got hurt trying to return in practice where he's just not able to go. Kenny Golladay is a loyal guy. He said he wants to be in Detroit for a long time, so he wants a long-term deal, and this may be a way that the Lions can get that on a discount.
Oh, let's hope so. That would be good. I mean, I'm more build the offensive and defensive lines. Let's use that money that way, but that's just my thought.
Yeah.
Get him. You got him and Stafford, so it's going to take a while to build anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. He's not that old.
I mean, if they bring him back, it could be a way to get a discount because of the last year. Could be. Could be Disney making a discount. You know what I'm saying?
the Disney discount.
Disney discount, baby.
The Disney discount double check. No.
Yeah.
Lions
Myers, yeah, man.
He got stiff-armed into oblivion. Have you seen this play? Holy cow.
You can hear it. It's like he slapped. He just didn't stiff arm. He slapped him.
Just like, get out of my way.
I swear I heard him say "Mama" on TV. Mama.
You know what?
I feel bad for the young fella, man.
The guy,
the young
just
fella,
comes
man.
off the practice squad, and already he's going to be on
he's going to be
on angry runs. I swear.
Oh yeah, he's going to be on angry runs tomorrow on Good Morning Football. There's no doubt about it. But I will say it was not as bad as the Josh Norman one because he lifted Josh Norman off his feet, but that was still pretty bad. It was still pretty bad. All right. So last but certainly not least in the Detroit Lions news, Stafford and Iron Man, but it is time to sit him. I agree with that 100%. The Lions are eliminated from playoff contention. There is no reason to play Matthew Stafford for the rest of the season. He's been hurt. He's got the thumb injury. He's got the rib cartilage injury, and he took some big shots yesterday versus the Titans. And I just don't want Sue because I know Ndamukong Suh wants to break him off something coming up in the next game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't play this guy at all the rest of the season.
Nah, sit him down.
There is nothing good that can come out of it for me. Let him rest. Let him get healed. There's nothing to play for anyway. My take is if you're going to trade him, you want him healthy. If you're going to play him next year, you want him healthy. There is nothing to gain by playing him at this point. Absolutely nothing.
You let some of those young guys play. You get Chase Daniels some reps, some film, or you let Blau. I mean, to be honest with you, just let some young guys get some reps, put some good tape on for some of those younger guys who can, maybe plan for the contract for another team for next season. I mean, it just is what it is. But Stafford was one person I definitely do not want to see on the field, just because of the fact that I want him to stay healthy and be able to go forward in his career, either in Detroit or somewhere else.
Absolutely. And so now we're going to go to the main course. In the main course today, the Lions moved to 97.1 the ticket. And why is this such a big deal? Well, they were on an AM station for all this time, and the quality was pretty low.
Yeah.
Valenti said that their average age over there was 96 or something like this. But it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, you looking at it, the Lions spent 18 years on 97.1 a ticket before the divorce about 5 years ago. For 2016, they left, and then 2021, they're going to be back on 97.1 a ticket. So that's 5 years. It is a interesting take. That a lot of their hosts, especially Mike Valenti himself, is very critical of the Detroit Lions.
Very.
And his former co-host Terry Foster as well. They have some very hot, hot takes, and they really go hard on the Lions. Now, one thing, just some insider information. I actually have talked to Mike Valenti. He was a guest speaker at my school, and he saw my Lions stuff. So we had an actual one-to-one interaction during his time speaking to my class at Full Sail. He is definitely if you look at his resume, let's put up a graphic. He's from New York. Grew up in Troy, New York, hometown. He went to Michigan State, where he studied journalism. And here's the big thing. He alleges that the Lions, in 2016, the Lions brass tried to get him fired. And that was one of the reasons why they left the ticket. They were not going to renew their contract if he continued to be a host on their station. Now, some Lions brass have denied this. They said that wasn't the reason why they left, but it's kind of hard to kind of argue that when there wasn't a really big reason to go from an FM station, one of the most popular stations in the Midwest, to WJR, which hasn't had any type of quality programming for a while, and it's an AM station. It's hard to even listen to an AM station just because of the fact of the technology that they use. Valenti himself, let me give you a little bit of background from what he said. He said that he is a journalist. He subscribes to the Howard Stern radio type of mentality. A diverse group, but he's that shock jock, controversial. He's going to say what he's going to say, and he's going to go hard in the paint, and it doesn't matter. He said, and I quote, this is what he said to me. He says, I'm a Giants fan, and if I will go hard on the Giants as much as I do, the Lions don't have a chance with me until they get the organization turned around. So he said he's not there to be a fan of the Lions. He's there to do his job. Now, there's a lot of Lions fans that he knows that he's one of the most hated people in Detroit, and he just doesn't care. He's going to do what he does. But just some of those things about Valenti. He said it's not a personal thing, with the Lions. He's just going to do what he does because that's just what he feels. And like I said, if the Giants, his own team, if he rips them a new one, the Lions don't have a chance, especially the way the organization has been run over the last few years.
I think it's interesting in this whole thing. Valenti has said that he is for the listener and not for the organization. Totally understand that. And you know what? In some things, he's right. This whole thing has been inept for the whole time. He said Patricia was no good. He actually was no good. I'm not going to say I subscribe to everything he says, all this other stuff. No. But you know what? What he said was, if you want me to get off you, basically, win games. Just win games. And I think that is one of the things that would turn this organization around, is just winning. I mean, it's not that complicated. I want to bring up something else, though, about this move. And the Lions are eating a lot of crow lately. They are eating their humble pie. They are coming back to different people, individuals, players, radio stations now because they want their organization to be better.
Yeah.
So leaving there was a statement by the Lions saying, hey, we don't need you. We're the Lions. We're the organization. We're cocky. Same thing they did with some of the players that they've had.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty cocky organization. They've been an organization that people don't like very much, especially players. But I see signs of change. And Rod Wood is one of the head people changing the culture, and Sheila with him. Because, okay, it took guts to go back to a station you said you're done with, basically, because of this person. I know that they aren't going to come out and say it, but it was that situation.
Yeah.
So, to come back and say, you know what? Yes, there was an issue there, but we're a professional organization. We're going to do what's best for our organization. Chris Spielman's always been close to the organization. They bring him in, pay him to be an executive in their thing. He actually leaves Fox Sports. They're mending fences. Barry Sanders would not even, didn't like the organization for a long period of time, then came back in, and Rod Wood had a big role in that. So I think that there's a lot of Sheila and Rod together are trying to reshape this organization's image. And I think that's huge for us in getting free agents and getting good players. The people that they're interviewing, top-notch candidates, not just some people you never heard of before.
Right. And that Rod Wood, and he has reports to say he has reached out to Calvin Johnson to try to bring Megatron back into the fold. I think, to be honest with you, until that money situation is really settled with Calvin Johnson, I think it's going to be a stretch. If Sheila Ford, and he's one of the faces of the franchise, but he was the face of the league. That's how big Calvin Johnson, and he played all those losing teams he played on. He was one of the big faces in the league. So, you're going to have to mend those fences. I would love to see Calvin Johnson back on the, I don't want to even say in the organization, but just back like when they hold events at Ford Field and, when they have alumni day, to see him back, I would love to see them, have him back. They retired 81 because that's what he deserves. I mean, there should never be another number 81 to play for the Detroit Lions. Just hands down.
Right. I agree with that.
That is the number. It's synonymous with Calvin Johnson.
Unless it's Calvin Johnson who's given them that number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's something like, you know what? I like this guy so much. This guy is such a great wide receiver, something like that. And I'm going to give him this number. That would be impactful.
Yeah.
And that would be the only way I would ever see that happen.
I think it happened out there it was Oakland then, because Charles Woodson had his 24 retired by the Raiders, and when Beast Mode came out of retirement to play for Oakland, that was his number, and Charles Woodson said yes, go ahead and wear it. But other than that, I wouldn't want to see another. It's just synonymous with Calvin Johnson. I'm not a big guy like the Cowboys do it, where all the best receivers are going to wear 88 because Right. I don't subscribe. Actually, I think it should have been retired for Drew Pearson back in the day. So that's just my take on that. But Rod Wood is doing an excellent job. To caveat what you said, if you look at the changes at Ford Field, the fan interactions that they have, the events that they hold at Ford Field, some of the things that they hold for the season ticket holders when they could before COVID, and things that just the organization as far as the fan interaction and the way that the organization is structured, top notch as far as Rod Wood, the first team in the NFL to be certified by the league for the COVID protocol. I mean, we're the only team, or I think we were one of the only teams that had COVID issues and didn't have like the whole facility shut down. Right. I mean, to be honest with you,
I don't know. Did we ever have it shut down?
We never had it shut down. We have players on the COVID list, but we never had it shut down. And a lot of organizations have had their whole facility shut down because of COVID. And the Lions weren't like that. So I would think Rod Wood is doing an excellent job on the business side. I think a lot of fans tie Rod Wood to Patricia and Bob Quinn So that's why they want him gone. And I just think he was never on that side of the business model of the Lions. He was never on the football operations side. He was always on the business side. He had to learn some stuff about running a football organization, but as far as what he has done for the Lions, I think he's doing a top-notch job, and I think he's going to do a great job going forward. He's a smart guy. He puts people around him that are smart, like Chris Spielman and other individuals like, Disner, some of those guys, and, to handle some of that, the financial parts of the organization is just one of those things where he does an excellent job. Think about just the concessions where they have like a top-notch restaurant style concessions at Ford Field during the Lions games. And then not only do they have that, if you don't want to do that, they got the cheap like hot dogs and popcorn and sodas, a little package for you. So if you spend all that money going to the game and you can't afford the high price, concessions, you can go and get a cheap beer and so I just, all those things encompass what an executive that's running that as a president should do.
And he's also one of the ones that said he wanted the more of the Lions way instead of everything else too. Was speaking, kind of echoing those sentiments. Yep. Okay, Lions get killed by the Titans. The season is officially over, thank God. But I called 8-8 to begin the season. Again, I was wrong, but I was criticized for going under the 10-6 mark or 11-5 or whatever, and I just didn't see that with this team. I didn't think they were going to be that competitive, but I felt like the defense would be much better than it was, and the defense is terrible, just terrible.
Harmon
was just awful in this game.
That was my whole thing, except for really two players, with Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers. Most of the guys that we got from New England, that was just direct
Danny
coming
Shelton
over from,
too. I think Shelton's a good.
But they weren't first string. Danny Shelton didn't even start in New England though. He was a bench player and the backup player. So you got all these backup players coming to Detroit from New England. I never got that sentiment. Just because they were backups in New England, that doesn't mean they're going to be good.
And was a backup too, but he was in the Eagles. But still,
this is backups. Bringing in backups to start. It's kind of. I don't really. Sometimes people just need a chance to because they're all professionals. Sometimes people just need a chance to prove that they can start. Other times, you're a backup for a reason.
I think Danny Shelton has proved it. I
think Danny Shelton has proved it. I think because he was a starter out in Denver, and then
he's a big boy, and
he's a big guy. He's a big guy. He is definitely. I like the fact that we have a lot of young homegrown talent on this team. Yep. Some has to go, but some need to stay. Like Amon Arroyo, he's a homegrown talent. I think he's expanding his game. Looking at Danny Pennicini. Homegrown talent. Well, that was the steal of the draft right there for the Lions. Just in my opinion, DeAndre Swift, he's going to be a very, very special player for the Lions going forward. That guy can run between the tackles. He's a 3-down back. Once we get the kind of the running back room,
I think that's his one drop.
Yeah, he can work on that. But he can work. That's something he can work on. But he can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a 3-down back pretty much.
He's a multi-threat back.
Yeah, and actually, I like Cephas. Cephas is coming into his own. That's nice
separation on that play too.
Yeah, that nice bomb down the sideline was great. I think he's improving. Even the bomb from the previous game was good. So he's getting some separation down the field. So those guys, those homegrown young talents are going to be key.
Hunter Bryant sighting too.
Hunter Bryant. Oh, actually, the other Bryant showed up. Austin Bryant. Bryant.
You can't even
finally getting in.
You can't even remember his name. He's been gone so long.
Yeah, Austin Bryant. He's making an impact. So you just have to look at some of those guys and look at that. We have some young players that can
Julian
play
Okwara,
for a while. Yeah, Okwara once he gets healthy.
A question about that in the comment cards later.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we have a base. I don't think the nucleus of the team is still that, great, but look at the offensive line that we got some good pieces still there. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson. That left side from the center to the left side is pretty good. We got to work on the right side to get that solidified.
I agree with that.
Going forward.
I think we need to draft one more, but I'll tell you what, I don't think it's going to be in this next draft. Unless we get more picks. I just don't think it's good. I don't see that.
No, not with 5 picks. It's not a lot of stuff you can do. I think you need to really fill some gaps on the defensive side of the ball this draft. I just think it's necessary.
Yep.
I had someone ask me about Najee Harris out of Alabama. I was like, he's good, but running back is not a priority for the Lions right now.
I don't think we go running back at all. I don't think we go offense unless it's wide receiver or offensive line. Which
that one kid out of Alabama, he is a terror. Yeah, Devontae Smith. He's wrecked some defenses for real. So
well, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on what happens with Golladay too, because when you have your one, Marvin Jones, I don't know what they're going to do with him, to be honest.
Marvin Jones is having a sneaky good season,
but I don't think he's coming back. I don't know. I really think it all depends on who the new guy is coming in. But we have so many injuries on defense. And,
oh my God, it's so bad.
You could see that Sunday. We just couldn't stop them.
Secondary is, oh my God, it's just even the backups were getting hurt.
Do you think, I'm going to ask you this question, Curt. Do you think this is a full rebuild, or do you think there's enough pieces there that we have enough to start? We have a leg up already. What do you think? I think the offense is pretty good.
I think the offense has some just bring back. They have a leg up on the offensive side of the ball. The defense is going to be
terrible.
It's just going to be a hard rebuild on the defense side of the ball. You got to get rid of
Julian Okwara, who you don't know what the heck is going on with.
Julian Okwara,
who's probably the best defensive player, edge wise.
Oh my God, that sack was so good. Oh, that sack was so good. That safety was bananas. He just jumped over the tackle. I think I said when Tannehill got back to the sideline, he's cussing his tackle out because he took a big shot from Romeo on that safety.
Yeah, but I think they have a lot to work with on the offense, and I think the defense needs a complete rebuild. Just blow it up. I think we have some nice pieces at the corner position that can develop. I don't think we have any linebackers. I don't see us having much of a defensive line, really.
It's a couple pieces on defensive line.
I like Pennicini.
I
like
Shelton. Is he in a 1 year deal? He's in a 1 year deal, 2 year deal.
I'm not sure. I thought he was 2, but I could be wrong.
I think Danny Shelton was on a 2 year deal.
On our research staff needs to look that up, which means that's all of you out there. You're our research staff. So.
Yeah, I like Danny Shelton and Pennicini together. They're a nasty pair together.
They are.
Depends on what defense.
Them and get a really nice 3 technique, like a defensive rusher from the 3 technique instead. But that's just my opinion. I want to go 4-3. I want to stop this 3-4 nonsense. But I mean, if you got a good 3-4 with a nice edge rusher, it's not a bad defense. It's just our linebackers are terrible.
Yeah. Danny Shelton's on a 2 year contract, 2 years, $8 million, $4 million annual salary.
Honestly, that's cheap.
Yeah. So he's here for at least for one more season.
That's good.
In Detroit.
Then they can kind of evaluate him next season and see what's going on. All right.
I mean, look how many people are on the shelf for Detroit. I just think there's so many injuries. It's kind of hard to evaluate. It's ridiculously a lot.
Okay. So the game summary for me is I don't care. I knew they were going to get pasted. Pretty much everybody knew, but they kept it close for quite a while. Matthew Stafford's insane, and he's a warrior. I would never question that guy's toughness or commitment to this city.
Ever.
Everybody, all you Stafford haters out there are going to say it again, Yeah, you want to get rid of this guy. Okay. Yeah, he only embodies everything Detroit.
He is a blue-collar, hard-nosed worker, and he just goes to work and does his job.
Yep.
I mean, he was slinging that thing around the field, and what I'm saying, why he could.
Different arm angles and the whole 9 yards and trying everything he could. I will say this, though. I credit the offensive line a little bit in this game because he had some time in this game.
Yeah, early. And then when Vitae went down and you brought in the Matt Nelson and the Bushi. Yeah, it was.
Ibushi came in as well.
Yeah, it got kind of tough for him. So that second half they started teeing off on Stafford. So,
but anyway, I mean, game summaries are going to be very quick for us going forward, just because they don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, at this point they just
over,
yeah.
And we're going to start in on the quarterback position pretty soon in the draft. Way too early look at the draft will come up soon. We're going to have mock drafts coming up, so you'll enjoy those. We'll have a bunch of stuff coming up, and we'll both be the GMs, put the GM hat on, and do some fun stuff for you there. Yeah. And now we're going to go into our comment cards, and we want to hear what you have to say about everything. So we're going to go into that right now. Joseph Murdoch says, sign Smith for an extra Christmas present to give the fans. Happy holidays. Sheila, don't let him get away. She already did. So,
Yeah, he interviewed on Saturday. Yeah,
he didn't go to Atlanta like he signed. He went there for an interview.
Yeah, no, and then he interviewed. Supposedly interviewed for Detroit. Was supposed to interview on Saturday for Detroit in Detroit. I don't know if it's in person or via Zoom or whatever.
Probably.
All right, next up we got Agent Friday. That is an excellent name again. Thank you, friend of the show, Agent Friday. What up, Friday? All right, I agree with Mr. Steele. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Pop my collar. I do believe that that the best defense that you are talking about was 2014 going to 2015. We got robbed in the league against the Cowboys. Still hurts because that team was poised to make a run, but the league had to please Fox and give the Dallas and Green Bay matchup that Fox was clamoring for.
Our first,
that is a really good take. Our first take of this new NFL is that for all the billions that they have signed for the networks in 2014, look at how many controversial calls have become part of the corporate game. Sorry, I am ranting. Some good takes there, Agent Friday.
I'm ranting right with you.
Yeah, there, especially against the Lions. There's been plenty of controversial calls against the Lions every year since that happened. It's been game deciding calls every year that goes against the Lions, and a lot of them happen to be either against Green Bay as well.
There was a couple in this game. There was a couple in this game. There was one first down. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, where are you putting the ball?
It was a couple of favorable spots.
There was a couple things in that game that I was not thrilled with. But I'm going to say this. You know what's great about this show, Curt? We don't get fined by the NFL for what we say about their.
Yeah, buddy. We have no ties to the league, so we can't.
We are free to say what we want about the officiating. And I know some people are kind of like, well, you know what? And you got to get better than the refs and blah, 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 blah. No, we get robbed, and that's the way it is. And you know what? Maybe it will change with the organization becoming a different organization or something like that. Maybe we'll get some people that garner respect in the front office, and maybe these calls will go away. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is, but I do know we get robbed. I do know we get robbed a lot, and we're not going to shy away from that on this show.
You know what, though? And we don't criticize it. I want a Lions coach to get fined for tearing into the refs.
Me too.
Because I like that fire. When you can say something that, and don't care, because it is what it is. And if you can have the gumption to call out the refs and don't care that you'll get fined for it because it's the right thing to do for your team, I agree with that 100%.
When Green Bay complained about one game where we had like replacement officials or scabs as they're called, they complained one game, and the next game the officials were back.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Fel Mary out there in
Seattle and all
that. Seattle, yeah.
And they complain more than any team I've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest baby I've ever seen. Yes, I'm saying it because it's true. Every play, he looks at the ref like going, what? And all this stuff. Come on, man. Really? No, seriously, I'm into this, man. I can't sit here
if the
Lions do something, it's terrible. And if Green Bay does it's okay. There's a lot of this. I'm not going to go into a whole show about it, but I totally agree.
It is. I agree with that wholeheartedly, Agent Friday. You got our support right there because it's because of the fact that it is what it is.
Jordan S. says, I think I prefer Dimitroff over Pioli. Like most fans are skeptical about previous Patriots experience. However, both of these guys have had their recent experience outside the Patriots, so I don't know. I don't think they will sell the Patriot way, especially with Quinn and Patricia being fired. I'm afraid of candidates coming directly from the Patriots, which neither of these are. That being said, Rick Smith is still my top candidate, and mine as well, Jordan S. Thank you.
And mine as well. We're at a consensus on Rick Smith.
I like Pioli. I think I like Pioli over Dimitrov, to be honest.
And the crazy thing is that Pioli worked for Dimitrov.
Yeah, I mean, can we bring them both in and have one, have a co-GM?
Yeah. I mean, that's what they were. I mean, that's pretty what they were in Atlanta, how they rebuilt that roster in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up, John Kapler says, so what's up with Julian Okwara? No, he's just injured.
He's injured.
He was injured coming out in the draft, right? I mean, people don't even realize that. He was injured in his final season at Notre Dame. So he was injured. I think he re-aggravated the same injury here in Detroit. So it was a shoulder, I believe. It's just he just has to get healthy. Sometimes coming out of college, and this was a tough year to come out of college because you don't have a rookie camp. There's no OTAs. So there's the on-field, stuff wasn't there until, training camp. So, really didn't have a chance to work with the trainers and really heal and get himself back into football shape. Just sitting out doesn't help your muscles really heal. You have to work at that stuff because you have to work at getting your muscles back into and your injuries back into football shape. So you got to rebuild those injuries, re-strengthen those muscles to get them back to where they need to be. And that wasn't happening during this offseason.
And if you haven't played for a long period of time, I totally agree with you, Curt. You really have to get back up into game shape. Mm-hmm. And it takes a long time, especially if it takes longer for that injury to heal or if he re-injured something or whatever happened. But yeah, he's just injured. That's it. Bottom line.
That's it.
AEW, not to be confused with A&W the root beer. We don't know who the next Lions coach will be. But we do know he'll be fired in 4 years.
I love this comment, man.
This is amazing. Our new coach will change everything, 3-13. Give him a chance to get his rookies to develop and players to learn his new system, 2-14. Enters the hot seat, 4-12. 2024, he's fired. So 2021, he's 3-13, 2-14, 4-12, and then 2024, he's fired mid-season. Does this look familiar? Because it kind of does to me.
The only person that it doesn't fit, and recent coaches, Caldwell doesn't fit his timeline at all.
It doesn't fit Schwartz either, really.
No, not Schwartz either. Schwartz was a pretty good coach.
Yeah,
he just wasn't disciplined enough for me.
He just couldn't get the offensive coordinator right.
Yeah,
that is one of the things that I think that he could have done much better at hiring someone with some experience at that position. So I think that was part of it too.
Yeah. All right, and last but totally not least, friend of the show, you can call me Funk, says on Kenny. I think he's actually hurt. I do as well. I would not be surprised if he doesn't play again this year and we actually bring him back at a lower price than fans were screaming to start the year.
He's on to something.
He may be on to something. You can call me Funk. You totally can be on to something. I think he's actually hurt. And I think from what reports are is that Darrell Bevell doesn't see him playing again this season. It doesn't make any sense. Now that the Lions are officially eliminated from contention, why would you bring Kenny Golladay back to play in any game this season?
Why bring any of the injured players back?
Nah, you won't bring any of them back.
Unless you know they're okay, everything's fine, and you just want to get a look at them like the rookies, like I would say Julian Okwara or something. If he is ready to come back, yeah, he needs game experience. So I could see it in that sense, but a veteran, nah. There's no way they should.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. But that's the comment cards for today. We really appreciate each and every one of your comments. We try to get as many on as we can, but that would be the whole show if we kept doing that. So
yeah.
Now we're to the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you think the Detroit Lions organization has started to make a change? Do you see something different in the organization than you've seen for many years? I'm going to say yes in my answer to the question. What do you think? And you can put it in the the comments below. Now we're going to go to my favorite segment of the day, the dessert with Curt.
Okay, people, you know what it is. It's time for some tasty morsels in the dessert. Now, this is a direct quote from one John Matthew Stafford. When asked about playing in the game on Sunday versus the Titans, he said, and I quote, "Because I am the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and it was Sunday. I've got a bunch of teammates. They work their tails off. I'm paraphrasing that. Yep. They fight to be available, and they fight to get out there and play, and they try to help us win. If there's any way I can play, I'm never gonna not. I feel that I owe it to those guys. I owe it to the game, or to the organization, everybody. If I'm good enough to play, healthy enough to play, my tail is going to be out there. I felt like I was good enough to play, so that's why I wanted to be out there." What a quote from Matthew Stafford.
So good.
Stafford puts his team in front of his own personal interests and the city of Detroit and the Detroit Lions organization. He wants to play for you. And if he doesn't matter, if he limps out there and, he's dragging his body all around that field, he's going to do whatever it takes for him, for the team to win. And I just can't say enough about that quote. That's leadership right there, people. If you don't think so, you don't know it.
I'm telling you this much, that Stafford is an Iron Man. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback play through as much as he's played through in Detroit. He plays through criticism all the time. He plays through, let's trade this bum. Let's get him out of here. We've never won nothing with this guy. And he's steady putting up numbers and doing his job and trying to do the best he can. Is he perfect? No, he's not perfect. Does he throw passes that are overthrown, underthrown, throw interceptions? Yes, he does. Name me one quarterback in the entire league that doesn't. Come on now. It's just a whole point, and I could go on a big rant, but I won't, that Stafford is what he is. You know what I'm saying? And I do think we could win with him if he had any kind of defense whatsoever.
Yep.
I do.
I believe that wholeheartedly. Yes. And he's getting one right now. If he can get that offensive line to block for DeAndre Swift, I think that's going to be a dangerous combination.
Yes, it will. And I appreciate each and every one of you rocking with us. You notice we did some changes today. We'll see how that works out going forward. What do you think about the changes? Do you like getting to the main course earlier? Do you like having, the videos kind of out now? So we kind of changed that up. Let us know what you think about the changes. Put it in the comments below. Is it a better show? Do you like it better? Is it worse? Should we go back to what we were doing? Let us know. We really appreciate each and every one of you for rocking with us. Curt, take us home, buddy.
You know what we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news. Join the family, subscribe to the channel, comment on the videos, answer the question of the day, share the videos, go over to our Facebook page. All of these things help us get our content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now, do us a favor. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. This is Curt Steele from my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. This is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.